For the second straight year, both Salisbury and Frostburg State represented the CAC in the NCAA baseball tournament last spring. Salisbury earned the CAC's automatic bid for the 13th time in program history with a victory over Frostburg State in the CAC championship, while the Bobcats secured an at-large NCAA bid. The CAC once again proved itself to be one of the toughest conferences in the nation last year, and with 16 all-conference performers returning this spring, 2017 looks to feature another talented crop of players and teams. Now let's find out who the favorites are this spring as we take an inside look at each CAC squad entering the 2017 season, counting down the preseason coaches poll throughout.
So we're really excited going into the CAC this year. We have a lot of returners coming back. Some of the expectations that we've made for ourselves is we want to compete in everything that we do. We feel that if we can compete and do the little things right, we're going to be really successful. Our major goal, as it is I think for every team in the CAC, is we want to make the CAC tournament. Once we get into the tournament, we feel like we've got a good enough pitching staff that we can make a run at the CAC tournament championships. We lost some kids, as we do every year, to a mission. We'll definitely fill Jordan Nace and Cody Davis will fill their absence. But we've got some good young men that have come in and they're going to fill their spot. We've got a lot of returners that have come back, so we're really excited about what we've returned and what we're going to be able to do. So our goal this year is just be competitive and do everything right and do what we need to do to make the CAC tournament.
Hi, my name is Justin King. I'm from San Ramon, California, and I'm a left-handed pitcher. I'm a senior for the Southern Virginia University baseball team. Our goals for this season, my goals in particular as well as the team's, is to make the CAC tournament. We feel we have a great opportunity to do this because of the body of returning players that we have that have been here for a couple of years now. We've also been able to infuse some new talent that's really going to be key in helping us reach the next step and making our goal of making the tournament. As far as the off season, what we've been doing and what I've been doing to prepare for this season is working out. Our strength and conditioning coaches have done a great job of tailoring programs for each of us as players to be able to maximize our talent and abilities. We've also been able to get together, those of us who live near each other, play catch and work on our skills, as well as hold player practices this past fall, in which the team captains, myself and a couple of others, were able to kind of take the lead and get the team prepared through instilling some of our game plans and things like that. The keys to making the CAC tournament is going to go back to doing the little things right, being able to be successful in all the little facets of the game and win every 90 feet that we can, and that's going to be the key to helping us be successful this year and being proud of the result that we put on the field. As far as Southern Virginia goes, I love the opportunity that I have to both play a sport and get a great education. I'm able to be involved in many extracurricular activities, honor societies, clubs, and things of that sort while playing a sport and developing a great relationship with my professors and those around me.
So this being my first year here, I think I have an advantage of being in the conference for the last 5 years. I've gotten to know my colleagues in the conference, great guys. I mean, I've probably learned stuff from all of them, from watching them over the last 5 years, with great coaches. So, you know, obviously trying to live up to the level of coaching in this conference is a main goal, personal goal for myself. Transition here has been pretty easy, actually. It's, like I said, it's been nice kind of knowing how the conference operates and knowing people within the conference. Recruiting for this conference has kind of been an easier transition because I've been doing it already, so you know the type of students that want to come to this conference, and you know the type of student that you need to compete at this conference. So that's been a huge part of the transition. As far as key returners, I think the key returners are everyone that was here in the past few years. They've experienced, you know, some ups and downs and some, you know, adversity, and they've been really positive as far as wanting to get better and those type of things because they know what it's like to be on the bottom. So I think that's very important for the entire team moving forward, is to remember where they were, and I think that's going to carry us through this year. Our schedule this year is, I mean, it's pretty tough. We start out, we play 3 games this year with the number 8 team in the country to start the season. Randolph-Macon, they're a very tough opponent, and the CAC is one of the toughest conferences in the country. There's been years where there's been 2 teams in the World Series from this conference. Every year there's someone that's making noise nationally. Last year I think we had 4 or 5 teams start the year ranked. So obviously the conference schedule is what it is. It's pretty tough. But we're going to have some teams from other places. We have New York and Virginia. So we're going to spread out, and we're going to see how we face.
The goals for this year are obviously do well in the conference, hopefully be within the top 3, get a bye in the first round would be nice, compete on and off the field, academically and whatnot. The thing about being a student athlete at St. Mary's is the academic side of things. Academics here are pretty rigorous, so not only are you getting like the experience of playing a college sport in one of the best conferences in the country, but you're also getting great education that goes along with it. So it's kind of interesting balancing things and like planning your time out. But at the end of the day, academics come first, so it's kind of cool knowing that you'll be able to get a good career after this. I'm looking forward to getting back out there and playing, especially under a new coach. It should be interesting. It's exciting having new blood in the program, having a new philosophy behind the whole team. I really can't wait to start playing against those big teams in our conference. It's nice that we start off against Randy Mack, number 8 in the country, so it should be really interesting. We play those teams pretty well, so we'll have to see when that comes around. And then Salisbury, of course, Christopher Newport. It'll be nice to go play Frostburg, especially with the new head coach, and see what happens there. But yeah, it's all exciting. Everything's exciting.
I think we're set up to have a big year. We have a lot of returning veteran players that have another year of experience. So our goal for this year is to get back into the conference playoffs and win the championship, regular season and conference tournament.
This year we're looking to make it back to the CSC playoffs. Past 2 years we haven't been able to accomplish that goal, but we're not just looking to be an average team. We're looking to be one of the top teams in the conference this year. We have a lot of veteran leadership, so that's helped out with practices and helping the younger guys mature more. So we're looking to be one of the top teams in the CSC this year. I'm going to stay healthy the whole year. Past 2 years I've had some freak injuries that have cost me some seasons, but this year I'm looking to stay healthy, and I want to be a first-team pitcher in the CSC, and I'm looking to help bring a championship back to York College.
Well, we're finally healthy on the mound, so our top 3 pitchers are all back and fully healthy, which should be huge. Elliot Mortimer, Randy Frankenfield, and Joel Kenny. In addition to that, we had a number of guys get a ton of experience last year, Bobby Keene, Will Grega, and then most of our lineup is back. So those guys started as sophomores, and now they'll be back, as juniors. So we're talking about Seth Brocious, Colin Crowell, Christian Ballon. Logan Countryman will be a senior, one of our captains. Mike Moore will be a senior, one of our captains. Zach Hostler had an outstanding year for us last year in his first year starting at second base. And then a number of guys were part-time players, and they should get their opportunities this year to really make an impact. Luke Knott had an outstanding fall. So we're looking for that next level of maturity, and we anticipate that those guys will be ready to do some damage this year.
It's a brotherhood. I mean, all the guys on the team, we are so close. We're together all the time. So I have found future brothers for the rest of my life, and we have a great bond together.
We have a handful of newcomers, especially pitching-wise. Casey Fitzsimmons had an outstanding fall. Andrew Ross is a guy that we look to make an immediate impact. And John Swojkowski is another guy that was outstanding for us this fall. And Zach Stoll threw a ton of strikes and is a guy that we look at and say it'll be a pretty quick adjustment for him in the college game. And then offensively, Bryce Stout was a guy that really impressed us this fall. He's got the ability to play a couple of different positions, and he has a power bat, so we think that he'll make an impact as well. Well, as always, the non-conference schedule is going to be stacked. There's so many good teams around our region and out of region as well, so it'll be the usual suspects of top 20 teams. As far as the conference goes, in my opinion, the CAC is the toughest conference in America, top to bottom. There's 10 outstanding teams, so it's a dogfight every single week. And I think this year you're going to see it. I mean, I think it's going to be really, really close coming down the stretch at the end of the year as far as the standings go. and that's the way we like it. I mean, that's you want to challenge yourself against the best competition week in and week out, and I think the CAC gives that opportunity to our student athletes.
I think the first goal is to qualify for the conference tournament. Once we get into the conference tournament, you know, anything can happen. I think we have a great shot. Our conference is very tough. We got a great league. It's very competitive. Teams were fighting until the last weekend last year, and that's going to be our primary goal, to get to the conference tournament. You know, losing two guys, you know, they're really going to make an impact. Eric Spidell, our shortstop last year, you know, second team all-conference guy, great leader, leadoff hitter. And Eric Willie was a guy that gave us a chance to win every time he got on the mound. You know, we lost a couple other guys, Dre Jones, Joe Hummel, Ron Morello, who really made an impact last year. You know, losing all those guys is going to hurt, but you know, we got some guys coming back that I'm excited about. You know, Trey Mears, you know, leading the way. He's a guy that, you know, everybody, when he gets on base, everybody knows he's running, and he still manages to do it. He had 40 stolen bases last year. You know, he's going to be right at the top. Chris Siebert hit close to 400. You know, 8 home runs last year. He's going to be a force in the middle of our lineup. So, you know, those two guys in the middle of our order. And then we got a couple of young guys who were on the team last year, but didn't get a chance to make as much of an impact as I'm sure they wanted to. But they're going to be right there in the running this year, and I think they're going to really help our cause. Our schedule is unbelievable. We've had you know, numerous teams represent us, you know, over the past couple of years in the NCAA tournament. 2 years ago, 2 teams were in the World Series. You know, so we all beat each other up. It's a very competitive league from top to bottom, and it's only getting better. So it's gonna be a grind. It's fun. It's fun to compete against, you know, great teams, great coaches, and I'm really looking forward to this year.
So last year we made some big strides with making it into the playoffs and winning a game in the playoff tournament. So this year our goal, just as I'm sure as everybody else, is to make it into the playoffs again. I feel that with the conference being as strong and competitive as it is, it doesn't matter if you're the 1 seed or the 6 seed, you have a shot to win it. So we just want to get into the playoffs and put ourselves in a good position to win in the playoffs as well. Key returners, we'll start with Mark Artley. He was a first-team CAC recipient. In my opinion, he's the best pitcher in the conference, and we're looking for him to anchor the pitching staff. We have Brendan Riato coming back, who I believe could be the best reliever in the conference. Did a great job for us last year as a freshman. We also had Bobby Patterson. He's returning, pitched a lot of innings for us last year, led our team in wins. He'll be a junior. Travis Van Houten coming back. He'll be a sophomore this year. He started a lot at third base and as a pitcher for us. So we're looking for big things from him again, mostly as a pitcher, but we're going to probably use him at different spots within the infield as well. Scott Angstad coming back, and he led our team in average. He'll be playing outfield. Dave Klein's coming back. He will be playing a lot of outfield for us. Tom Denniston and Ethan Kell both played a lot and caught a lot. Tom filled in the outfield a little bit, but both of those guys will be returning behind the plate. In the conference, the CAC is top-notch, one of the best conferences in the country. You know, teams are ranked very regularly, but we feel that we're right there. I think last year proved that, and you know, we're looking to make the jump even further up in the conference and compete at a high level. And we feel if we do everything within our control and within our power and work really hard, that we can be that ranked team and we can compete for a CAC title, no question.
My goal for the team this season is to make playoffs and make a push for the CAC title. We have a lot of young guys, but I think we all have the potential to do well and make that push for the title this year. My favorite part about being a student athlete here is being able to focus on my academics. having this Penn State degree, and then after I'm done with all my classes, being able to spend time with my teammates out on the baseball field doing something I love. Our off season, we've worked hard in the weight room. We've been throwing. It's basically came down to how bad do we want to win the CAC this year, and with the guys that we have this year, we all worked hard all season long, even in the off season, getting together in the gym. So we should be prepared. We're most looking forward to probably the bus trips that we have together, getting that bonding time that you spend together with all the guys on the team. Being able to travel and play together is definitely what I'm most looking forward to for this season.
Well, we had a pretty decent start from last year. Stumbled a little bit down the stretch. Still won 24 games, got a lot of guys back, and added some guys to the program. Quite frankly, I just hope that we can practice and play every day like it really means something, and find a way to compete in this tough CAC league. We were fortunate enough to bring some guys in that we hope can help us a little bit in some areas. We definitely like their baseball IQ. We definitely like their demeanor. We definitely like their motor. So that's exciting. We've got an infielder, right-handed pitcher, Robert Cross out of West Virginia. We've got a gentleman out of Richmond, Christian Haig, who's also an infielder, DH pitcher type of guy. We've got a middle infielder, Garrett Lyons out of the Virginia Beach area. And we got a catcher locally here, Bryce Rooney. All four of those guys we hope can really help us. They're freshmen, and we're really excited about them. We also got two transfers, left-handed pitcher Bryant White that we hope can help us, and Mark Smith, transfer, kind of a utility guy, can play the infield, all three positions from Garrett College. Also that we really hope, they were in the program, but we got two guys, pitchers coming off of injury, in Cole Jarvis and Alex Shapiro. Those guys got to help us. Right now they look good, and we really need them to. They have the skill set and the ability to do that, and we're really rooting for them to get back fully. They look good right now.
So our goals for this upcoming season, of course, to win a CAC championship. I know last year we got a little lost in translation going after our Myrtle Beach trip. I know our season set up this year. It's going to be we're going to be better amped up and geared towards right when the CAC starts. So we should be really good hands, really good shape to really get the season underway like we wanted to. This offseason was a little different than the ones in the past. I think Coach took a different approach, which has really helped everybody, take more accountability for their actions, give everybody a little more responsibility, especially for the young guys. I think that'll really help grow the program going forward. But I know for most of the upperclassmen, it worked a lot better and got everybody a little more excited, I believe. What I'm most looking forward to is, as my last year going down, I really want to get that CAC championship. I think we're more prepared than we ever have been in the past, and I think Coach's mentality and our practice plan has really shown that. So I think, I'm really looking forward to getting to the CAC and getting it done.
Well, our goals and expectations are the same every year. We want to come into the season, we want to compete for a conference championship, and then move on to the NCAA tournament and ultimately compete for a national championship. So, our goals, kids know coming in what the expectations are, and they're going to be the same every year that they're here. We had a couple of losses in the field. We lost All-American Tommy Vitelletti, first baseman Connor Henderson, and third baseman Kyle Corwin. So, I guess in that sense we're real fortunate that we didn't lose a lot, but they were definitely three guys that contributed a lot that we lost. We do have a couple of freshmen back this year, as well as a kid who's been injured his first year, so he'll be back. Logan Harrelson, who pitched for us, who had Tommy John a year and a half ago, so he'll be back. Some of the freshmen that have really stood out so far, Andrew Supa at third base, Tyler Jumper on the mound, as well as some other freshmen that are looking good, but unfortunately for them this year, they're going to have to wait their turn because we're fortunate enough to have a lot of returners back this year in the starting lineup. Well, one thing that we always try to do here is we try to put ourselves in position and prepare ourselves for the NCAA tournament, and I think we've done that this year as well. So based on the preseason polls, you know, it looks like we've done a pretty good job of doing that. Depending on what poll you're looking at, we're playing anywhere between 5 to 7 teams that are ranked in the top 20, and that ultimately, hopefully, is going to help us near the end of the season. And if we're fortunate enough to get to the NCAA tournament, that we're prepared because we've played those teams before. So we always try to schedule ourselves in hopes that we're going to be playing in the NCAA tournament. And then on top of that, you know, the conference schedule alone is not that easy as well. Top to bottom, anybody can beat anybody in our conference, and you know, we're real fortunate enough to have a conference to where we've had as many as 3 or 4 ranked in the top 20. So that alone speaks volumes.
As a team, I think we want to go out there and win the conference, and then ultimately go to the national championship and compete for the national championship. So, you know, as a student athlete, man, this school's a tough school and everything. So I think it's great that we get great academic help, and the classes are small size, so the teachers and professors and whatnot, they can help out a lot in those areas and everything. For me, I work out just about every day, so that's good. And then as a team, I know all the guys were telling me that they had a great preparation in the off season and everything. That we trained, you know, in the fall and everything. We trained hard. We did a lot of sprints and work like that, and we did a lot of inter squads and to help our team, you know, for the spring. So I think we're gonna be good. You know, I'm looking forward to winning tons of games, man. Going far into the postseason. You know, our team as a whole is a great tight-knit team this year, so I think that's going to help a lot with us. All the conference games are great, like Frostburg and Salisbury. Those are always, you know, great games. And then, you know, we have Cortland, which is a huge game, great series here this year, so I'm excited about that.
We obviously have a great bunch of guys on our program, some guys that have had experience. We've got a new group of guys that came in fresh this year that are getting acclimated to what we're trying to do. But like always, I will say that the competition in our league and on our schedule in general is very difficult, and it's going to come down to whether or not we prepare well and how we execute, and that's the bottom line. So, you know, it's great that we have all but 2 players returning. Those 2 players that we lost were very good contributors to the program the last couple of years, but it really doesn't matter who's here and who's not here. It comes down to the guys preparing well, the coaches preparing well, and the players executing on game day.
We only lost 2 players from last year, and like also I'm a senior. You know, my thoughts of how we're going to be this year is pretty similar to every other year. We think we're going to come out and compete and trust in the process like we do every year, and we know what we have to do. If, you know, throw strikes, make the plays we're supposed to, hit the ball, score runs, and I think we're going to be successful. If we don't, then we know we're going to run into issues. You know, one of our goals, like it is every year, is to make the conference tournament at minimum and then make a run there and hopefully stay healthy. Yeah, strength of schedule is something that Leone always does a great job ever since my freshman year. Is putting in the best caliber teams we can possibly play, because we believe that if we play those top tier teams, we can only get better by playing them, and we all look forward to it. We love that challenge. Those are the games we look forward to, and like I just said, it only makes us better.
The goals are kind of the same. I mean, we want to put ourselves in a position throughout the regular season to host the conference championship and the conference tournament, and certainly give ourselves the best chance that we possibly can to win the conference championship and get the automatic bid to the regionals. We've been fortunate. 2 years ago, we were able to do that. Last year, we were able to host the conference tournament, but weren't able to follow through and win the tournament championship and get the automatic bid, and had to work to earn our berth, which we were fortunate to do. But I think that's ultimately it, is to find a way to get to the postseason, the NCAA postseason, year in, year out. That's kind of been our expectation the last 3 to 4 seasons. Our conference schedule is an 18-game grind. I mean, you got to come prepared to play every single day. We have 9 schools that we compete against every year that, you know, can beat a lot of teams, if not anybody in the country. We certainly have some of the best programs in the country year in and year out. They prove that. And then even some of the teams that maybe not be as well known nationally are certainly starting to make themselves a little bit more well known, at least locally and around the region. Our conference just continues to get stronger every year, and it's just a grind. It's the most. I think it's the SEC of Division III baseball. I think first and foremost, coming off of last year, going into this year, we've got to play better team defense. We really struggled at times defensively last year. It's certainly an emphasis that we put on in recruiting, and certainly everything that we did in the fall leading up to our preseason here now. And we got to do a better job of just making sure that we help our pitchers throw as few pitches as possible. Make the routine plays and make sure that our pitchers have a chance to go deep into ball games because they don't have to throw extra pitches to get extra outs, causing their pitch count to go up. So I think anything that we can do to help our pitching staff be more efficient, that's what we need to do, and that starts with playing good defense in the infield and certainly making plays in the outfield. But really, the infield defense is got to be the focus, and we think that that's something that we've improved upon. Still needs some work, but it's something that we definitely focused on and put a lot of emphasis on in our recruiting and sort of our preseason workouts and things like that.
I'd have to say our goals and expectations would be for goals settings would be to make it back to the World Series as they did 2 years ago. Expectations would 100% have to be to win the conference again and hopefully win the CACs. In conference would probably be about the same, with Salisbury being probably one of the top teams we'll play, same as last year and the years prior. Marymount also has a very great team, usually give us a run every year, been back and forth. And then I'd have to say non-conference is a lot better than we've played. We go on 2 or 3 trips to North Carolina this year to play some of the top teams around there, and with adding Cortland and Hopkins to our schedule, that's another 2 big games for us this year. The favorite parts about being here at Frostburg State would probably have to be the team, a couple of my professors who've helped me along the way, and I guess all the other people that I've met in my classrooms that have helped change my life here at Frostburg.
Same thing as always. This year's a little bit different. We get to defend the CAC championship, so we're looking to defend that, get back into the regional, and then hopefully play a little bit better than we did last year, and get back to the World Series. We have a small but very talented senior class. Tom Labriola, the reigning CAC Player of the Year, is returning. Pete Grasso, Jeff Oster on the mound, who I'm really looking forward to seeing what they can produce this year. They'll probably lead our staff in the 1-2 punch on the weekends. We're really looking forward to see what those seniors bring to the table this year. Funny situation, the last year playing on this field. We're going to be very fortunate enough to have a brand new field next year, all turf stadium. It's going to be phenomenal, and we're looking forward to closing out the field this year in a great way, and breaking the new stadium next year. CAC is always tough, top to bottom. It always depends on who's on the mound for any team. Any given day, you can face somebody that can keep it a low-scoring game. So top to bottom, it's great. We always try to schedule a tough non-conference schedule as far as Cortland, Oswego, Shenandoah, Kane, some of the top 25 in the country that I think prepares us for later down the road if we're fortunate enough to get back to the regional and go a little bit further than that.
So goals for this year are the same as every year. They're national championship. That's the end result, and that's what we want every year. It's just the process of getting there is the tough part, and I think the best way to do that is just take it one day at a time, whether it be a day of practice, a day of weightlifting, or a day of a game. We take it one day at a time and into the conference and win that, go on to the regional, take that one day at a time, and get back to the World Series like we're used to. Our off season here is done pretty well. We all play in good competitive leagues and come back in the fall and have our fall season, and we lift as a team and do speed and agility and all that kind of stuff. We train really hard to prepare our bodies for this long upcoming season and get the best out of it. We try to play the best competition we can. That's the best way to get better and the best way to do it. So even non-conference, we play great teams. We usually lead the year off with Cortland, #1 team in the nation repeatedly, and go from there. And conference schedule is always tough. I think our conference is great. The top tier teams, we always play tough, and we always play great competition. That's the best way to do it, in my opinion. I mean, it's my last season, so I'm looking forward to playing with the guys that I've been with since my freshman year. I came in with the same group of guys, and now we're all here again together for our last year, and we have such a tight group, and we're all so close. I'm ready to play with those guys and my entire team and do it for one last ride.